being at a net worth of 230 billion, roughly, being perceived as the richest person on Earth.
Well, I think Putin is significantly richer than me.
You really do, yeah?
Yes. I mean, there's been many times where I expected to lose everything. Who starts a car company and a rocket company expecting them to succeed? Certainly not me. I thought they both had less than a 10% chance of success. And frankly, I wasn't wrong in that in 2008, we had the third failure of SpaceX, and if the fourth launch had failed, SpaceX would be dead in 2008. We had no money for a fifth launch. And for Tesla, Tesla's been on the verge of bankruptcy many times. And we closed the financing round in 2008, because remember, at the end of 2008, General Motors and Chrysler were going bankrupt, and Ford was almost bankrupt. So imagine trying to raise money for an electric car startup while General Motors is going bankrupt. I mean, people were angry that I even asked. But we were able to just barely raise enough money to squeak by and close the financing round for Tesla on the last hour of the last day that it was possible in Christmas Eve 2008. And if we had not closed that financing round then, it would have gone bankrupt 2 days after Christmas.
With all your knowledge and products, services, you're almost a strategic weapon in modern warfare. How do you see your role in that context?
I think I can be helpful in conflicts. I try to take the set of actions that are most likely to improve the probability that the future will be good.
Should we have even more nuclear energy in order to get faster independent from Putin and to resolve the climate issues?
I want to be super clear. In my opinion, Germany should not only not shut down the nuclear power plants, it should reopen the ones that shut down. And those are the fastest ones to restart. It's crazy to shut down nuclear power plants, especially like if you're in a place where there's not natural disasters. So like if you're maybe somewhere where there's severe earthquakes or tsunamis or something like that, it's more, of a question mark as to, I mean, maybe, but if there's not like massive natural disaster risk, which Germany does not have, then there's really no danger with the nuclear power plants.
And you don't see any safer alternatives that could have a similar effect?
I think long term, most of civilization's energy is going to come from solar, and then you need to store it with a battery, because obviously the sun only shines during the day, and sometimes it's very cloudy. So you need solar batteries will be the main long-term way that civilization is powered. But between now and then, we need to maintain nuclear. I can't emphasize enough, please do not shut down the nuclear power plants, and please reopen the ones that have been shut. This is total madness to shut them down. I want to be clear, total madness.
You have recently presented Optimus, human robot, and you shared great expectations what that could do for the world.
Yeah.
Could you explain a little bit your motivation? I assume it's not only about the first visit to Mars that could be done by Optimus. It is more than that, a game changer in AI. Could you share a little bit your vision?
With respect to AI and robotics, I always approach these things with some trepidation because I certainly do not want to play a hand in anything that could potentially be harmful to humanity. Humanoid robots, they're clearly happening. I mean, you look at like Boston Dynamics, their demonstrations are better every year. So there will be humanoid robots. I mean, the rate of advancement of AI is very rapid.
Talking about speed, you have the vision that one day Starship could be able to get from A to B in 30 minutes all around the globe. Is that correct? And if so, what would the time frame for this vision? It's like a global super taxi. You can just go from San Francisco to Nairobi.
Yeah. I mean, the landing will be loud. So you'd want to probably be connecting, cities that are next to oceans or seas, such that you can land maybe, far enough offshore that the landing noise is not disturbing to people.
But I'm surprised that one topic seems not to be too fascinating for you, and that is the project of longevity and increased lifespan significantly. Why are you not passionate about that?
Well,
you're not personally interested in living longer?
I mean, I don't think we should try to have people live for a very long time. That it would cause ossification of society, because the truth is, most people don't change their mind; they just die. And so, if they don't die, they will be stuck with old ideas, and society won't advance. I think we already have quite a serious issue with the gerontocracy, where the leaders of so many countries are extremely old. Look, I mean, in the U.S., it's, you know, very, very ancient leadership, and it's just impossible to stay in touch with the people if you're, you know, at the, you know, if you're like many generations older than them. And the founders in the U.S., they put minimum ages for political office, but they did not put maximum ages, because they did not expect that people would be living so long, but they should have. Because you really want, in order for a democracy to function well, the leaders must be reasonably in touch with the bulk of the population. And if you're too young or too old, you can't say that you would be in touch.
Is there anything that you really would like to achieve which you think is going to be impossible?
Impossible is a strong word.
You don't like that word?
Well, it's a strong word. I mean, I sort of approach things from a physics standpoint, and the word impossible is, you know, more or less banned in physics. I'm really worried about this birth rate thing. That's been troubling me for many years, because I just don't see it turning around. You know, every year it's worse. And I drive my friends crazy.
Walter Isaacson is planning a biography, and he has written a biography on Einstein, on Steve Jobs, on Benjamin Franklin, and Leonardo da Vinci. Among the four, with whom would you like to meet and have a glass of wine?
Well, I mean, we'd be honored to meet any of them, even for a minute. I think Ben Franklin would be the most fun at dinner.
And who is the one where you would say, I'm closest to him? Would it be Leonardo da Vinci?
I think I'm
You're a Renaissance man,
pretty different from those people, you know, everyone there. It might actually be Ben Franklin, frankly. You know, he did a lot of science and engineering stuff. I don't know, but you know, it's funny. Da Vinci thought of himself first and foremost as an engineer, and you know, I mean, for the time, he was pretty impressive.
What is your biggest hope?
My biggest hope is that humanity creates a self-sustaining city on Mars.
You have once said, if I'm not in love, I cannot be happy. Are you happy at the moment?
I think there's degrees of love, but certainly for one to be fully happy, I think you have to be happy in work and happy in love. So I suppose I'm medium happy.